The webcam is here now. Alright there, you little demons. Jules here for WhatCulture.com, back again with another episode of the awesomely named and awfully hosted Choose Your Own Adventure, the weekly medieval themed format where I, the Crown Jules from WhatCulture.com, take a list chosen by you. Yes, you, the person who, yes, I'll admit it, I've changed the studio around a bit and decided that I paint my ceilings. There's dust sheets on the walls. I realise this doesn't look good at the moment. I am aware of that, but I can offer you exposed beams. Ooh, how very hipstery of me. And look, if that's not good enough for you, look, the lighting's back-ish. That's the best that we're going to have right now. Yes, you. I'll fix it in the next week's one. I want to stand up. You know, I'm still suffering from the hernia. I want to do all my stuff standing up going forward, so I've moved everything around. But that'll be for another week while I figure out everything else. Yes, you get to decide what list I dole out to you each and every week. And this week we have none other to thank than David LQ3JR for their suggestion of video game endings that cost you absolutely everything, that you had to work so hard, do heinous things, or just spend all of your life grinding just to get that golden ending. And this is the thing, we all love happy endings. But when it comes to video games, sometimes these good boy endings can unfortunately result in bad times for the player, and last time I checked, that's you. So let's have a chat about them today, as I'm Jules, this is WhatCulture.com, and these are 8 video game endings that cost you everything. Everything! And you know the drill by now. Put your suggestions for next week's episode down in the comments section below. But with that in mind, let's get on with this list, shall we? Number 8, Mafia III. The Mafia III's ending offers players 3 distinct paths for protagonist Lincoln Clay. Leave his life of crime behind, rule the city of New Bordeaux alongside his underboss, or double-cross the other underbosses and take everything for yourself. Now let me just weigh up those options again. Leave the life of crime, which is the entire reason you played this game, work for somebody else, or become the biggest badass in town. I wonder which one I'm going to pick. Well, unfortunately, if you do want to become the biggest badass in town, it's gonna cost you. Because going full dirty and killing your lieutenant after taking the city's crown offers up only the momentary of victories for Lincoln, as upon leaving and getting into his car, he'll be suddenly blown to ribbons by a car bomb. It's subsequently revealed that the bomb was planted by his friend, Father James, who desperately attempted to talk Lincoln out of staying and ruling. James states that he made the agonizing decision to kill Lincoln after realizing that he was no different than the game's primary villain, mob boss Sal Marcano, and so doesn't actually regret doing it. Like, I get it. Crime, it doesn't pay, we all know that adage by now, but at the same time, could it have paid a little bit of dividends for us? Length longer than just getting to your car? Number 7, Oddworld, Abe's Oddysee. So by default, in Abe's Oddysee, you'll only have a measly 3 grenades on normal difficulty to see you through the entire game. But did you know that there is a way of getting infinite grenades, which last time I checked makes things infinitely more explosively fun, but the problem is that it is going to cost you. Well, maybe not entirely you, but every person or Maduckan that you come across. Yeah, you're going to need to be a real bastard for this one. Because the practice of getting these infinite grenades requires some serious douchebaggery on your part. You'll need to go through the entire game without lifting a finger to help rescue any of your fellow imprisoned Maduckans. Worse still, you need to make sure that all the Maduckans are dead before you reach the end of the game. And by doing all of this, you'll trigger the super bad, terrible ending where the main villain of the game actually comes on and says, "Wait, calm down there, Chief. That's a lot of dead workers that you've now just provided me with. You're a bit of a sick, twisted creep, and I kind of admire that in a way. So here, as a reward for killing every other person you come across, here's infinite grenades to kill them more in a subsequent playthrough." And I thought they were good at business. So yeah, infinite grenades, awesome, but murdering all your fellow prisoner slaves to get them, ooh, that's a heavy burden for the soul. Number 6, Heavy Rain. So if you want to platinum the video game Heavy Rain, you are going to indeed go through some heavy times, because this game wants you to get your hands dirty, my friend. The interactive drama allows players to dictate the fates of its 4 central characters, including the origami killer himself. And while you're obviously encouraged to try and keep the non-murderous characters alive, if you want that sweet platinum, you're going to have to willingly hand a W to the game's antagonist. The perfect crime trophy can only be popped by letting the origami killer, eventually revealed to be P.I. Scott Shelby, get away with it. Jules, spoilers! Si, if this game's been out for like what, a decade now?
Well, I haven't got to that part yet. Frankly, I've been too busy with this really important part right here.
Jason! 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 Jason!
This involves cleaning up any evidence throughout the game that might tie Scott to his various crime scenes, while also working hard to ensure that most, if not all of the game's other central characters end up dead. You'll then get to witness the ending where Scott gets off scot-free. Which is also the emotion that you'll be feeling at the end of the game, because as he walks off into the sunset, you're just like, ooh, I'm not the good guy here. I am, if anything, the bad guy. But at least I have a platinum trophy for it. Was it worth it? No! Number 5, MediEvil 2. Now, in most video games, if you go out of your way to hoover up every single collectible, every golden coin, and help every schlumbu from the Schlumbla prisons, does that exist? I don't even know by now. It probably does in a platforming game. Then you are usually going to be rewarded with the best ending, right? Because you've gone out of your way to do all of this stuff. The Schlumbers. You've helped them. Or killed them. I can't remember which game. Whatever. You want the best ending, right? Nah. Not in MediEvil 2. Nah. Because in a grand act of trolling on the part of its developers, MediEvil 2 goes the total opposite way by ensuring that those who collect all 20 chalices will be rewarded with a grand bummer of a cliffhanger ending. Indeed, reach the end of the game with all chalices in tow and you'll unlock an ending where Sir Dan and his mummified love interest hitch a ride on a time machine, taking them back to Zarok's lair from the end of the first game. At this moment, the pair are then attacked by a monstrous version of villain Palethorn, and we abruptly cut to black. Now, given that a third MediEvil game was never produced, we're left to assume that Dan and his love interest were killed by Palethorn, and that is quite a bummer of a true ending that you had to go well out of your way to see. And considering that the normal ending of this game just sees them living on forever in peace in the afterlife, this seems like an especial kick in the nuts. Thanks! Number 4, Nier. Now, the video game Nier takes the concept of sacrificing everything for an ending and pushes it to the extreme. Thank you, Yoko Taro. Once again, you have given a TED Talk on how to be a very weird and enigmatic creator. You oddball, you. I say that like he's here. All right, mate. Cup of tea afterwards, yes. Because in order to achieve the game's fourth ending, Ending D, you'll need to straight up lose your save data. This ending sees the player sacrifice themselves to save Kane, resulting in their very existence being forgotten by every other character. And this is literalized by forcing the player to delete their own save game, leaving the title as though it's never been played. Oh, and also, as a nice little touch that a lot of people seem to forget about this, if you try to start a new playthrough and use the same name as you did for your previous character, the game will say, no, sorry, can't do that. So you've literally lost all record of this character ever existing and are barred from doing it again. To hammer home the gravity of the situation, the game even asks you if you're really, really sure about doing this. It makes for a uniquely affecting and impactful ending, though the recent Nier Replicant remaster adds in an extra fifth ending where the erased save file could actually be restored. All the same, for those that played the original game, this made for quite the agonising dilemma. And yes, I mean, Yoko Taro did try to replicate this. Ha ha ha, little joke there, replicant. Trying to do this again in Nier Automata Potato Patata, but unfortunately we'd already seen it before, so it didn't hit with quite the same impact here. So yeah, Yoko Taro getting a bit stale. Getting a bit stale with this amazing once-in-a-lifetime design stuff. Cool, sick. Number 3, hatred. Okay, so I'm sitting in front of a script that's been written for me here by Jack Pooley, who wants to talk about hatred and how at the end of the game you need to kill literally everyone around you in order to end the game, because the point of this game, if there is even a point, is that your character is so angry at life, he just wants to take down everyone with him. Ooh. But you know what? I'm sick of talking about this game. I don't like talking about it at all. It is a game that I've said many, many times, that is for watercooler masturbators who think that long trench coats are the epitome of edgy coolness. I do not want to talk about it anymore, but yeah, if you do want to see the end of that game, just go on YouTube. Don't give the developer any money. Sick. Bye. Number 2, Undertale. By the way, I should state for the record here, Jack helps me write these scripts for these, and then I basically just butcher all of them. Every single time he just writes reams and reams of stuff, I look at them and go, I'm going to ad-lib half of this. Bay loves that. Number 2, Undertale. Now, the brilliantly bonkers Undertale has 3 main endings, depending largely on how players deal with the enemies they encounter throughout the game. The pacifist ending is achieved by, shockingly enough, refusing to kill any of the game's enemies, while the neutral ending is unlocked by killing some, but not all of them. And then there's the genocide ending, which is also true to its name and can only be unlocked by killing every single enemy in the game. This required players to not only kill every enemy they fight, but also hang around and trigger random encounters until all areas have been fully wiped out. This will lead to an ending in which players battle Suns, arguably the best and most challenging boss in the entire game, before Chara shows up and straight up erases the entire world. And better yet, if you do want to play again, you're going to need to go back to that very point and give your soul to them in order to restore the world, because you broke things that bloody badly. Yeah, you took everything. You destroyed everything. Good job. But also bad. Naughty. And number 1, Superfire Pro Wrestling Special. Okay, my friends, let's wrap things up by talking about a super deep cut from 1994. And if you know anything about me and my work over on the Future Game Show YouTube channel, you'll know that I love myself a deep cut. In fact, I have a series based entirely around that because I'm tired of talking about the same lists over and over again. I want new games, or 10 of the old obscure games. Don't break your brain on this point, Jill. Anyway, we're travelling back to 1994 to talk about an often forgotten wrestling game and how it's got such a bleak ending. Now, as with most wrestling games, the end goal of the story mode is to win the World Championship, which in this case involves defeating champion Dick Slender, a hilariously blatant Ric Flair ripoff. But because the game's story was written by Suda51, you know, the madman who later made Killer 7, No More Heroes and Lollipop Chainsaw, of course, this was going to have an unhinged twist. Before the fight, Slender kills the trainer of your protagonist, and even if you achieve revenge by defeating Slender in the ring, the game ends with you realizing that your victory is empty as he has nobody to share it with. Because his trainer is dead and his romantic love interest has just basically said, no thanks, I'm not about this life. I just won the world champion. I just wanted to be a greasy oil boy. I just wanted to take part in the graps. What's going on with this business? What's going on? And so in the game's grim final scene, you go home and shoot yourself dead. That's the reward for completing the story mode in this game. Okay then, what? But you never see that in 2K game, I'll tell you that much. And there we go, my friends. Those were 8 video game endings that cost you everything. I hope that you enjoyed that, and let me know what you thought about it down in the comments section below, and put your suggestions for next week's episode down there as well. I promise that next week or the week after, everything should look a little bit different, a little bit better. I'll be standing up, be more mobile, be more... My hands will be doing all sorts of shapes you won't even be ready for. That was just a taste, 1%. So get excited about that. As always, I've been Jules. Hope that you are treating yourself well, my friend. And just remember, above all else, you are a massive ledge. You deserve love. You deserve happiness. You deserve success, like all of us human beings do on this world, okay? So do not forget, you're a massive ledge. Now go out there and smash your life goals, because I believe in you. As always, I've been Jules. You have been awesome, my friends. And I'll speak to you soon. Bye.